Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 27th edition of the Japan Times Sustainable Roundtable. It's still early January when we're filming this, so take the opportunity to wish everyone a happy new year, or at least hope your year has got off to a great start by the time you're looking at this. So today, our guest is a really interesting guy. Yuki Kishi, who is the CFO at Sustainable Labs. Welcome, Yuki-san. How
Thank you,
are you?
Ross-san. Yeah, thank you for having me today.
A
for this
pleasure,
podcast
a
and
pleasure. I'm
interviews.
really
Yes.
looking forward to this conversation.
Thank you.
So, first of all, let's start off with tell us what Sustainable Lab does.
Yes, so Sustainable Lab is a ESG startup.
Yeah.
We call it ESG fintech startup occasionally. We are providing two services, but in the end, what we're trying to achieve is we are trying to create a more sustainable world with the power of data science. So we gather data of listed companies. We gather the ESG data set from listed corporate companies as well as non-listed companies, and then try to visualize that, trying to create a pipeline so that the other side, which is investors or bankers, any other people who like to refer that. We're trying to create this infrastructure at the moment. So,
Which it's really is compelling to me because we talk a lot about the efforts that companies or governments are making in terms of bringing about a much more sustainable society, and particularly when we look at carbon zero. Everyone has their target for 2030 or 2050. But the reality of that is that in order for us to achieve those targets as a world, it costs a huge amount of money. I think the number is something like $122 trillion, which is more than the annual global GDP of the world. And so the relationship, and I'm not saying this because I work for Nomura, but the relationship or that dynamic between the people that are seeking the funding or need the funding to be able to carry on those transition or those ESG initiatives or those sustainable initiatives, and the people who are supplying that money is a really, really critical one. And it was not something that I actually picked up on until I came to work at Nomura, came back to the industry. So, and then to be able to apply data to that, it just sounds such a fascinating way to be looking at it.
yeah, so I think everyone's now talking about ESG or sustainability in many forms. And